Vegan butter chicken. That's what we're cooking up today, so come join us. Yes, you did hear me right. Vegan butter chicken. It's a vegan dish, and we're using the flavor inspiration of butter chicken for it. We're starting with cashews. Half a cup of cashews soaked in half a cup of water, and soak that for between 30 minutes to 2 hours to soften those cashews. Then take an entire brick or block of tofu, squish out a little bit of that water. That will help mimic the texture of chicken the most. And this is an extra firm tofu. And then cut your tofu into bite-sized pieces. Meanwhile, preheating your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. We've got the tofu in a bowl here, and we're tossing it with some olive oil, some salt and pepper. They're getting it all ready to go. You'll notice that we're going to be doing a couple of kind of multitasking steps along the way with this recipe. So onto a cookie sheet, we're going to be putting that tofu, spreading it out so that there's room for the heat to get around all the sides of the tofu, but keeping it to 1/2 of your cookie sheet. And then taking half a head of cauliflower, cutting that up into bite-sized pieces, also tossing it with the olive oil, salt, and pepper, spreading it out onto the other half of that cookie sheet and popping it in the oven. Now we've got 1 cup of brown rice, 2 cups of water. We're going to get that going on the stovetop. As I mentioned, we're doing some multitasking. In the meantime, we're going to be dicing up an onion, some garlic, some ginger, and holding on to that for a sec. Now, I know I'm not giving all of the amounts in this recipe here. We do have the recipe on our website, and so I've got that link to that in the description box below so that you can cook this delicious recipe too. Okay, so we tossed the cauliflower and the tofu so that it gets brown on all sides, and now we've blended up those cashews into a thick, creamy sauce. Oh, that's going to be delicious in our butter chicken. Now we're getting cooking. So we've got a large Dutch oven or a heavy bottom saucepan here. We're adding some olive oil, and then we're adding that onion mixture. So that's our onion, ginger, and garlic. You're going to saute that for about 5 minutes so that the onion softens. And to that, while it's cooking, adding in our spices. So the spices in here are 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of garam masala, and if you like things with a little touch of heat, an optional tablespoon of chili flakes. And doing some stirring so that that onion gets nice and soft and those spices get evenly distributed. Now we're adding our tomato paste, a 1/4 cup of tomato paste here. This, when we add the cashews to it, that's how you get the beautiful pink color of our butter chicken sauce. Now you'll notice we learned a little bit of something here as we cooked this for you, and that's that you definitely want to keep stirring your sauce here. We were a little slow in measuring out our tablespoons of tomato paste, and it got a little brown on the bottom. And so do keep stirring so that things don't burn at the bottom and stick. And so if when you're making it, a little thing you can learn from us is to add your vegetable stock first. That will help prevent some sticking on the bottom here. And we do recommend you adjusting things as you want. So we added 1/2 of our vegetable broth at first. Look to see, how is that consistency? It still looked a little thick, so then we added a little bit more. It's always good to, adjust things in a recipe to get the texture, the consistency that you want. Now, we do want a little bit of sweetness in this, about a tablespoon of a sweetener of your choice. You can use a brown rice syrup like we did here. A maple syrup would work well as well, or if you're not too worried about keeping the recipe vegan, a little tablespoon of honey would work. Some salt and pepper as always, and then giving that a stir so that all those flavors come together. Meanwhile, our tofu and our cauliflower has come out of the oven, and we are adding it into that sauce and then giving it a stir and giving it about 10 minutes while stirring to bring all those flavors together, to get that cauliflower and that tofu to absorb some of the beautiful flavors of our sauce. Oh, this is looking good. This is an amazing, hearty, warming recipe for these cold winter days. And then we're going to serve that alongside our brown rice. Our brown rice is ready. And hey, get a little fancy if you want and garnish with some cilantro. If you like today's video, let me know. Click the thumbs up button below. Again, I have a few other recipes pulled up that I thought you might like. And hey, if you like our channel and haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit the little notification bell.